from behind closed doors, and today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Jordan Peterson's thoughts on Andrew Tate. Now this video was uploaded on the 15th of June 2023 and I'm watching this on the 16th of June 2023, so it's literally the day after. It says it was uploaded 12 hours ago. This will be very interesting, so let's see what he's got to say, because I've been following Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson since around, I'd say, 2017. They both had YouTube channels that I followed, and they were both not famous. I was following them, then they became famous through the mainstream media, and they have more in common than they do differences, even though they have completely different lives from the outset.
On Andrew, masculine movement, young men across the globe.
Now you see, people are applauding this because they really want to have this conversation. So let's just have a look at, I never usually do this. Here you go, look, go into the first comment. A conversation between JP and Andrew Tate would break the internet. That's absolutely correct. This is a much needed conversation. Either Peterson needs to go on Tate's podcast or Tate needs to go on Peterson's podcast. And I think that it would be better if Tate went on to Peterson's podcast that he does for the Daily Wire, where he interviews people. I think that he should do a full-blown psychological analysis on him and then decide and put his opinion forward, because at the moment he's getting second-hand information and he's probably got a lot on his plate and he's not really getting the correct avatar of what Tate represents and what he is.
I really haven't said anything about Andrew Tate, and I probably won't tonight, but well, I'll make a few comments about the Andrew Tate phenomenon. You know, I would say is that the mystery is, there is a mystery in relationship to Andrew Tate, and the mystery is, why is he so popular? And I think part of the reason he's
popular for the same reasons that Jordan Peterson is popular. He has the same fans. And so when people look at when the mainstream media and the leftists and the feminists and all the other ists look at Jordan Peterson, they probably see what Peterson sees when he looks at Tate. He can't understand the mystery of why people are attracted to him. That's what the liberal mainstream media see when they look at Jordan Peterson.
So popular is because he doesn't easily bend a knee, so to speak, you know, and it isn't obvious to me that he doesn't bend a knee because of his stellar moral character, but because I'm not particularly, what would you say, impressed by what he's done on the sex business front. It seems to me.
Oh my God. Out of all the things that he could go with, like, he's a 4-time kickboxing world champion. He's become the most Googled man on the planet. He's a multi-millionaire. He's done a lot of the things that Jordan Peterson actually espouses in his 12 rules for life and another 12 rules for life. All his 24 rules, he kind of sticks to a lot of them. He believes in the family. He believes in God. There's a lot of boxes that Andrew Tate ticks that Jordan Peterson would approve of, and yet he doesn't approve. He's going for a negative. He's, instead of going out eliciting all the positives, he's coming in with this kind of condescending, almost snobbery viewpoint of Tate.
On the pimpy, let's say, and I'm not a great...
The pimpy side. So let's talk about that, shall we? So Tate describes a pimp, and I would too, as a positively inspirational, motivational person. So, is it good to have positive, inspirational people in your life? For those of you that don't know Andrew Tate, he had a webcam business with his brother, and they were essentially agents and managers for webcam models. And a lot of webcam models don't make a huge amount of money. They certainly don't make millions, the majority of them. As Peterson knows, there's a Pareto distribution, and they were at the upper end of the Pareto distribution. So they were very successful at it. They were successful at managing models. So, does Peterson look down on Cindy Crawford's agent? Does Peterson look down on the men that work at Tesco's or that work in convenience stores that run their own business, that sell alcohol to men? And alcohol is a very dangerous drug, which he knows. So does he look down on all the men that own liquor stores and run those businesses? There's an epidemic of male loneliness. I'm sure Peterson's aware of this. And I would argue, as I'm sure that Tate would, that webcam girls have saved a lot of men from killing themselves. And it's a substandard addiction, which is not good, but it's a lot better than getting drunk and drink driving and going out and causing domestic violence. Men are lonely. This is the crazy thing. The girl didn't even do much work. She was kind of like the face of the brand. So he knew how men thought. Andrew and his brother Tristan were talking to the men directly, so they knew how men thought. That's why it was such a popular business. The woman was just kind of like the representative of it, the brand image of it. In the same way that if there's a perfume that's released, the people that make the perfume will get Britney Spears or Rihanna or somebody like that to be the image of the perfume. Rihanna didn't go around resourcing the perfume and setting up the perfume business and everything. She just got paid a load of money to be the face of a brand, the representative of somebody else's business, a model. The girls did the least amount of work and had the least amount of involvement. That business was built on the Tate brothers. And although they tried making it more commercial, they stuck with their girlfriends because they were more loyal. So it's kind of like a family business in a way. The Tates have a family business in the same way that the Petersons have a family business. Michaela has done a lot of work for her father.
It seems to me a bit on the pimpy side, let's say. And I'm not a great admirer of pimps.
You're not a great admirer of pimps. Well, it depends how you're defining pimp. If pimp is defined by a positively inspirational, motivational person, then why wouldn't you be an advocate of that? It all depends on your definition, I suppose. But with this online stuff, a lot of it is role play. It's pretend, it's make believe.
So, wait, even if they're the electronic version, and so, you know, but I don't know that much about the details of his life. And apart from that, you know, rather casual diagnosis, I'm going to leave it alone. But there is a mystery there, and the mystery.
Well, I don't think that's a diagnosis. I don't think that being a pimp is in the, what is it called, the DSM or whatever it is, the mental health. I don't, you know, again, how are you going to use the word diagnosis? Because you're a clinical psychologist. Is that a clinical analysis, or is that just you using the word diagnosis more casually?
I don't know that much about the details of his life, and apart from that, you know, rather casual diagnosis, I'm going to leave it alone. But there is a mystery there, and the mystery is, you know, why has he captured the public imagination? And it's clear that he's become a voice, maybe, you know, maybe like a kind of a violent rapper, same sort of attraction to young men. And that attraction is the attraction of what's the alternative to a kind of cringing defeat, you know. And so maybe a forthright aggression is a preferable alternative to a cringing defeat. And I have some sympathy.
He's so like Peterson, it's unbelievable. And Peterson is so like Tate. Underneath, like on the surface, they look completely different because they've had completely different lives. They've gone about everything. But under the surface, they're pretty much the same guy. They're workaholics. They both have a very regimented diet. If you look, like, let's speak Peterson's language. If you was to look at their personality traits, I would say they're very much aligned. They have more in common than they do differences. You see, there's so much to say about this, and I am just going to do a short video because more of this will unfold. But Michaela Peterson is a linchpin in this, and I believe that it's distorted both men's views of the other. And this is a shame because we have the destruction of the family home and the New World Order coming into play through the World Economic Forum and various other means. And both men are working diligently to fight the New World Order, which is the destruction of the family home, and to promote the family home. And if they could just work together, that would be tremendous, because then you would culminate positive, godly force to combat the evil that is coming into this world. But the arrogance of man. This is the problem with Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate. Because they're both so egotistical, they believe that they're better than the other guy. So that's why they're not going to be collaborative and join forces, because they're both being condescending to one another. That's the funny thing about it. That's why they both want to lead, and you can only have one leader. But if they just spoke together, they'd see how much they have in common, and they'd arrange a hierarchy which would work for everybody.
What's the alternative to a kind of cringing defeat? You know, and so maybe a A forthright aggression is a preferable alternative to a cringing defeat.
So he's speaking very negatively, defeat, cringy. He's not using great words here. It's only a 2-minute video. It's just a lot of negative connotations on this.
A forthright aggression is a preferable alternative to a cringing defeat. And I have some sympathy for that viewpoint, you know. So, and I think...
Sympathy? Why does he need your sympathy? Do you see how condescending the way that he's speaking about it is? And I love Peterson. I have so much admiration for Peterson and for Tate. I think they're both great guys. And I think that they're doing a lot of good and changing the world. But the trouble is, unless they're going to be able to kind of reconcile their differences and get on, then they're not going to culminate that energy, that positive energy that is there to prevent and protect the destruction of the family home. I agree with Tate 90% and I agree with Peterson 90%. And the 10% that's cloudy in between the two is the topic on the family home, because they have different ways of raising a family. And because both men are proud and they believe that their way is the better way, they're going to defend their egos and defend their stance, as opposed to just reconciling the two.
A forthright aggression is a preferable alternative to a cringing defeat. And I have some sympathy for that viewpoint, you know. So... and I think Tate at least stands for that. And apart from that, I don't know enough about him or what he's done or what he stands for to call.
I think that's the best comment that Jordan Peterson's made in the whole stuff, is that he doesn't know enough. And I think that's the fairest, most accurate observation that he's made in this whole speech that he's given. I agree with the comment. Conversation between JP and Andrew Tate would break the internet. And I also think it would be a really good, positive move forward in rebuilding our society. The mainstream media lies about both men all the time, and they misrepresent them and give a disingenuous view about them. And Michaela, and the subject, I'm not going to go into it, but the subject of Michaela Peterson between the two has muddied the whole waters, which is Jordan's daughter. But if you just take Michaela out the equation and just sit them both down into a room together, and you get Peterson analysing Tate and Tate explaining who he is, that I believe would work. Even if it doesn't, Peterson will then have a more accurate viewpoint of who Andrew Tate is, as opposed to believing something about him that isn't the most helpful and isn't true, like a lot of people about him. Because people that enjoy Jordan Peterson's content cannot understand why people wouldn't. And the same is true with those that follow Tate. I have respect for both men. I think that both men are doing an amazing job. I only agree with both men 90%, and the last 10% I disagree with, but then again, that's where they disagree with each other on, and that's where the conflict lies. So I hope this has been a helpful, informative video. I've done loads of videos on Jordan Peterson. I've done loads of videos on Andrew Tate. If you want to see them, click the links in the description. I'll post the playlist. I never usually say this, but I feel like saying it for this video. If you like this content in this video, subscribe to this channel and let's make the world a better place.
Hello, my name is Doug and I've created a video tutorial called What to Message a Girl for Online Dating Success. The reason why I've created this product is to help those men out there who are dating online but are not getting the replies or getting the dates that they desire. My product will teach you what to message a girl, what not to message a girl, when to message a girl, how to respond when you're not sure what to write, what to do if she doesn't reply, how to get her phone number, and how to communicate to get online dating success. If you're getting matches and no success, this product is for you. It's what you need to do today to start getting success with your matches. I'll also be talking about other issues such as how to spot red flags, identify time wasters, to stay out the friend zone, how to deal with ghosting, simmering and icing. Not only will I be giving you exactly what you need, copy and paste, I'll also be explaining to you the reason why I'm writing what I'm writing so you can understand the psychology and know what behaviours to look out for and which ones to avoid. This product is packed with value. I've tried to cram as much as I can into a short amount of time as possible while being the most informative. If you're a man and you're confused and frustrated with what to text with online dating, this product is the solution for you to get more dates in less time. Click the link in the description box below to buy the product and change your dating life forever.